Dido is best known for being featured on Eminem's massively successful 2000 single, Stan, which sampled her song Thank You that was released a few months earlier. The success of Stan helped propel Dido's career to new heights, but just like that, she disappeared from the spotlight as quickly as she got it. So what happened to Dido after becoming one of the most popular musical acts of the early 2000s, after being featured on an Eminem song? Dido, whose real name is Florian Cloud de Bonneville Armstrong, emerged onto the music scene in the late 90s with her mesmerizing voice and heartfelt lyrics. But it was getting featured on the Eminem track Stan that truly propelled her into the global spotlight. The song, which was about an obsessed Eminem fan, garnered critical acclaim and resonated with millions of listeners worldwide. It reached the top of the charts in multiple countries and is now recognized as one of the greatest all-time recordings in hip-hop. It even gave the way to a slang term years later. The younger generation now use the term stan to refer to an obsessive or just really dedicated fans of someone. The song established Eminem at the time as a rising force in hip-hop. However, it wasn't just Eminem who would benefit from the song's success. It also catapulted Dido into mainstream popularity, who by then wasn't as well known in the music scene as Slim Shady. You might be wondering, how did Eminem, a famous rap god, even learn about her? It traces back to Eminem's producer, Mark Flood ELLIS, who was a fan of Dido's music. While working on his album The Marshall Mathers LP in 1999, Eminem was searching for a sample to incorporate into his song Stan. The song tells a story of the obsessive and dangerous nature of fandom, and Eminem's production team thought that Dido's Thank You would perfectly paint a lowly fan's point of view. Eminem's producer, Flood, brought the idea of sampling Dido's song to the attention of Eminem, who was immediately drawn to the haunting and captivating quality of her vocals. They believed that the melancholic atmosphere of Thank You would perfectly complement the theme of Stan and add to the song's narrative. As it followed, the production team reached out to Dido's management to seek permission. Dido, upon hearing Eminem's request, granted the rights for her vocals to be used in the track. This decision would prove to be a pivotal moment in both artists' careers. Dido released Thank You as a single from her 1999 album, No Angel, in September 2000, just 2 months before Eminem released Stan as a single. However, Eminem's single gained more traction on the charts at a faster pace. Arguably, Stan brought more attention to Dido than her original song did, and it wouldn't be until January 2001 when fans started clamoring for the original song that was sampled on Stan. During that time, Thank You started charting on the Billboard Hot 100. By April 2001, Dido had cracked the top 10 when Thank You peaked at the 3rd spot. Due to the success of Stan, Dido's debut album No Angel was released to a worldwide audience in 2001. Until that point, No Angel had only been released in the United States. The album became a global hit, selling billions of copies and topping charts worldwide. Songs like Thank You and Here With Me showcased Dido's unique musical talents. The album's success cemented Dido's status as a singer-songwriter with a distinct voice and an uncanny ability to connect with listeners on an emotional level. In the United States alone, No Angel sold over 3 million copies, certifying it as a triple platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. The album spent a remarkable amount of time on the Billboard 200 chart, firmly establishing Dido as a chart-topping artist. On a global scale, No Angel sold over 22 million copies worldwide and was one of the best-selling albums of its time. Dido's No Angel tour was her first major concert tour. It spanned multiple years, allowing her to perform across various countries and establish a strong fan base. Her second album, Life for Rent, was released in 2003 and further propelled her career to new heights. The album explored themes of love, loss, and self-discovery, resonating deeply with the fans. The lead song, White Flag, became an international hit. Upon its release, Life for Rent became an instant hit. In the United States, the album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling over 400,000 copies on its first week and over 12 million copies worldwide. It was certified 9 times platinum in the UK and is recognized as the 34th best-selling album in the history of the UK charts. Dido embarked on a global tour to promote the record. The tour included numerous shows in North America, Europe, and other parts of the world. However, it took another 5 years before Dido released a new album. By that time, her star power had faded immensely, and it showed in the charts. Safe Trip Home, released in 2008, was praised by critics, but was considered a commercial failure compared to her previous efforts. It was only certified gold in the UK, which was a massive drop compared to the performance of Life for Rent. It was clear that a mysterious pause settled over Dido's career. Shortly after the release of Safe Trip Home, the singer decided to go on a hiatus. But what made her leave the limelight? After years of non-stop touring and creative output, Dido made a conscious decision to step away from the spotlight. She chose to prioritize her personal life, focusing on motherhood and taking time for self-reflection. One significant factor that made her leave the public eye was her desire for privacy. Unlike many artists who thrive on the constant glow of recognition, Dido, an introvert at heart, was happy being away from the spotlight. With its intrusive cameras, ceaseless scrutiny, and constant traveling, the demands of fame began to penetrate the boundaries of her personal life. The weight of it all affected her overall well-being, sparking a crucial realization that something had to change. Dido yearned for the freedom to retreat into her own thoughts, away from prying eyes and relentless expectations. But it wasn't just that. Another pivotal moment in Dido's journey was her decision to focus on motherhood. In 2011, she welcomed her son, Stanley, into the world, and just as you would expect, her priorities shifted. She decided to dedicate herself to raising her son and ensuring that he would grow up in a stable and nurturing environment, even though it meant stepping away from the spotlight and putting her music career on hold. This hiatus allowed her to recharge and gain new perspectives, leading to a renewed sense of purpose and creativity. Contrary to what some may think, Dido didn't fade into obscurity. In fact, she continued to evolve as an artist and explore new musical territories. In her interview with Nylon magazine, Dido explained that she continues to make music. "The music never stopped. I'm always singing, always writing songs. Music is how I make sense of the world. I just stopped playing it to anyone but my family," she said. One notable collaboration during this period was her work on the soundtrack for the film Sex and the City 2 in 2010. She co-wrote and performed the song Everything to Lose. In 2011, she recorded the one-off track If I Rise for Danny Boyle's film 127 Hours. The song was well received and garnered numerous nominations, most notably for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards.
And the nominees for Best Original Song are
If I Rise from 127 Hours, music by A.I. Rockman, lyric by Dido and Rollo Armstrong.
After her hiatus, Dido returned to the music scene with her fourth studio album, Girl Who Got Away, released in March 2013. It debuted in the top 5 of the UK albums chart and reached the top 10 in the United Kingdom and Europe. That same year, Dido appeared on The Voice UK as an advisor to coach Danny O'Donoghue. In 2019, Dido debuted her fifth album, Still on My Mind. The album marked her first full-length release in 6 years and debuted in the top 10 worldwide, including the UK albums chart, which peaked at number 3. Its lead single, Hurricanes, received positive feedback and garnered radio airplay in several countries. The album also performed well in several countries such as Germany, Switzerland, and Australia, reaching the top 20 positions. She also embarked on a world tour to support the album, her first in 15 years. Dido didn't get to enjoy the same level of popularity as she had in the early 2000s, and she probably might never again. But make no mistake, she's still very much alive and kicking, and based on her recent works, there's definitely more to expect from the veteran singer. And speaking of veterans, you might also wonder what happened to another musical act that was popular during the early 2000s, S Club 7. So check out our other video, What Happened to the Members of S Club 7, to find out.